So you decided to buy a new bike. Great. Now what?
Buying a new bike is a funny thing. It can be the most complicated thing in the world or the simplest. We're here to help you make the process easy and get the bike that meets your needs.
So why should you listen to us? Well, I've been in the bike retail business for about 30 years, and I can tell you that I've seen it all. Our philosophy on bikes has always been to help people discover what kind of rider they want to be and then get them connected with the right bike and gear to create wildly successful rides.
Let's get some stuff out of the way first. One of the big problems you face when you're thinking about a new bike is that there's so many choices you can become a victim of paralysis by analysis. The sheer number of choices in bicycle company marketing schemes conspire to confuse you.
So people often wind up with a bike that does not provide them with the fun experiences they were thinking about. One thing you should know up front is that there are no magic formulas for any company to make a bike that has a comparative retail value to another brand, but at a substantially lower price. In other words, you can't make a bike that other companies sell for $4,000 and only charge $2,000. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
The other thing you should know is that bikes do go on sale, but if you're buying from a local dealer, and I recommend that you do for reasons that we'll go into later, and they're offering a bunch of money off, they're not making any money. And while that's not really your problem, it kind of is, because if dealers don't make money, they go out of business. And when you need service and warranty help, well, there's no one there to provide it.
So now the good news. If you're not hung up on having a particular brand of bike because your friends think it's cool, there are some bikes that may offer a bit better value than others.
One more thing to know about various bike companies: they're all using the same components from the same 3 companies, Shimano, SRAM, and now, as a result of pandemic shortages, microchip. And any given price point of bike components from any of these brands will have a comparable performance and value. There may be some ergonomic and operational differences that separate them that might be a good reason to choose one bike over another in any given price point.
So without further ado, and without highlighting or downplaying any particular brand of bike, here's what you should consider, and the order you should follow. First, when you think about riding your new bike, where are you riding it? Do you picture yourself on a high-speed ride on smooth pavement? Or are you riding it on a single-track trail in the woods? Who are you riding with? Are you riding with a group of like-minded people, or are you following your own solo journey? Now forget about all the labels and categories of bikes. Just draw yourself a picture of your ideal bike ride, and the type of bike you should get becomes much easier.
If you can describe that to a bike shop person, they should be able to nail down the best choices pretty quickly. Be as specific as possible. For example, if you just tell someone, "I want a mountain bike," they may start by showing you gnarly downhill rigs meant for downhill racing on ski slopes. But what you wanted was a lightweight trail machine meant for smooth, flowy single track. The description of that mental picture is the most important part of the process.
All right, now we know where we want to ride, so let's start shopping. Step 2 of the process is to think about your budget. In any category of bike, there will be a price range from low to high. Now bear in mind that the starting point will be dictated by where you will ride the bike. For example, a lighter weight road racing bike starts around $1,200 to $1,500 and can range into many, many thousands of dollars. Good quality recreational hybrid bikes range from $600 to $1,500. Now in most cases, you can get a great recreational bike well under $1,000. Regardless of what category bike you're shopping for, unless you have accessories from an old bike, make sure to budget for the appropriate extras you'll want to ensure your ride experience is the best possible. Quick sidebar, let's talk about weight. Now, while I will go out on a limb and say that lighter is better than heavier, there's definitely a diminishing rate of return when it comes to cost to weight. If you're looking for a recreational bike that's comfortable to ride, spending thousands of dollars to make it a little bit lighter weight is probably a waste of your resources when all you really wanted was a more comfortable seat.
The rule of thumb is to get the right tool for the job that you want it to do. In addition to considering what the frame is made of, the design, or geometry, is important. Bike geometry is the thing that will determine how a bike fits and how the bike will handle when you're riding it. Bike geometry is a much bigger topic than we can cover here, but it's worth noting that if you test ride 2 bikes that work on paper, but one stands out as the better ride experience, it's often due to a difference in the geometry. Go with your gut. Even if you're not a seasoned rider, your body knows what it likes. Go with the bike that seems better, even if you can't explain why.
After the frame, the most important components are wheels. On performance-oriented bikes, wheels make the biggest difference in ride. The weight, stiffness, aerodynamics, and braking surface will impact all of the speed, handling, and comfort of your bike. On certain bikes, durability may be a priority as well. So when comparing two bikes in a similar price range, your choice may come down to wheels.
Another pro tip, when deciding on an upgrade for your bike you already own, wheels are the thing you should change first. Drivetrain and control parts such as seat post, handlebar will have much less impact on the performance of your bike.
When it comes to drivetrain components, don't sweat the details. Within your budget, pretty much every bike on the market will have similar drivetrain spec. Now, while it's nice to have the most expensive components, unless you're a professional bike racer, 1 or 2 levels down from the top of the line work really well. If I were looking at a new road bike, I would take a Shimano 105 drivetrain and better wheels than an Ultegra level bike with lower end wheels.
The problem is that bike companies know that people use component level spec as a way of comparing bikes and will often put a more expensive rear derailleur on a bike and then cheap out on the wheels to hit the price point. Remember, there's no magic formula to make a bike significantly cheaper than the other guys using the same components.
Now, when it comes to drivetrain components on a new bike, it's more important to make sure the gear range is appropriate for where you want to ride. Specifically, is the lowest gear easy enough to get you up the hills you're likely to encounter?
Again, this is where having a good idea about how you want to use your new bike makes it easier for a good salesperson to help you find the right machine.
And finally, I know lots of people say it's not important to them, but you should like the way your new bike looks. When you look at your new bike, you should get that little feeling of excitement. Like, when you look at your bike, you should be saying to yourself, man, that thing is cool. Don't underestimate the power of aesthetics and enjoyment of your new bike. There's a reason there are so many different colors and styles. Me personally, I don't love green bikes, and I won't even consider a brown bike. But candy apple red? Yeah, now you're talking.
And one more thing. Buy a bike at a local shop where you like the people and you can create a relationship. Sure, buying stuff on the internet can often save you money, but bikes are one of those things that most people need help with when it comes to repair, fitting, and accessorizing. The enjoyment in the bike is not just in the buying, but in the using. Keep in mind that you aren't riding the price. And while buying local is not always the cheapest, good advice and great service is usually worth a little extra.
I could not agree more. Hey, if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And to see more Cyclecraft TV, go ahead and pop that subscribe button. Thanks for watching Cyclecraft TV, and remember, keep that rubber side down.